Aloha. Welcome to Island Issues, our weekly public affairs program about Hawaii Island's people, issues, and concerns, over the air and online at koacountry1077.com and at lava1053.com. Now, here's your host, Sherry Bracken.
Aloha, good Sunday morning. Welcome to Island Issues. We're here Sundays at 6:30 a.m. on Koa Country 107.7 FM and at 8 a.m. on Lava 105.3 FM. Today I'm talking with Senator Brian Schatz, who's one of our 2 United States senators. Senator Schatz, recently I had the privilege of attending a statewide attorneys conference, and I heard one attorney talk about, the title of his talk was Federal Incursion into State and County Matters. And he was specifically talking about Department of Interior, the Fish and Wildlife declaring so many thousands of acres as critical habitat, and the National Park Service wanting to declare Keauhou Aquifer as a managed groundwater area, despite hydrologists, even their own, saying there's not a problem. What can you do as our United States Senator to help sort of stop what appears to be an assault on the state and certainly on this island, according to all the experts with whom I've spoken?
Well, this is really becoming a challenge for us with federal, especially conservation-related agencies, declaring things that are not true and not based on science. I mean, to designate basically all of Kona for a time to be critical habitat totally dismantled the Kona Community Development Plan. I mean, they decided that the site for the Kona Courthouse was critical habitat, and that just flies in the face of common sense. We really pushed for a mediation process whereby most of that got settled. There's only one parcel that's still in sort of a dispute, but 95% of the land and the landowners are satisfied, and the mediation process actually worked. On the Keauhou Aquifer, you got it exactly right. There is no hydrological reason to designate Keauhou Aquifer in that way. And, you know, I'm a science person. I'm out there on the Senate floor criticizing Republicans for not paying attention to the science when it comes to climate. And so I think it's incumbent on me to be consistent. And even though I think the folks at DOI are trying to do the right thing in terms of the resource, they got to have the science behind them, and they just don't. You're right. The state water resource experts, the federal water resource experts, nobody really thinks the Keauhou Aquifer needs this level of management, and it's going to dismantle our ability to have appropriate development in the Kona area. The Commission on Water Resource Management is a state agency, and they have the final say. So on this one, it's not a federal decision, it's a federal recommendation. And I'm quite confident that the Commission on Water Resource Management will continue to, you know, manage the resource appropriately, but not shut down what everybody seems to think is the right kind of development in Kona.
You mentioned federal influence. What are you doing to influence that particular decision, the Keauhou Aquifer, if such a thing can be influenced? Not the decision, because you can't influence the state, but you certainly can influence a little bit the Department of Interior, the National Park Service.
We are in an ongoing dialogue with DOI at the sort of line level and all the way up to the assistant secretaries and the secretaries about this. They know that we are watching, we are deeply concerned, and we're unhappy. This is not the right way to do conservation. I grew up in conservation. I'm still passionate about conservation, and I'm probably one of the U.S. senators who cares the most, especially on the appropriation side, in terms of making sure that these agencies get the resources that they need to take care of our natural resources. But in exchange for all of that, I want them to actually listen to communities. And there are plenty of environmentally special and culturally significant areas in the state of Hawaii that need federal investment. Them meddling in state and county water issues is just not useful to anybody.